Hello, what's up, everyone, and welcome to this week's Generation 9 podcast. Your hosts, me, Victor Martinez, Ehsan Farahi, Vlad Yudin, and Edwin Mejia. We are here to bring back this week's podcast.
It's going to be a good one.
Another one.
Very interesting.
Another week. I can't wait.
What do we have?
Another week, another great question and a question for the day. And, these questions are getting more interesting because everybody's going back to the 07 rematch between
keep going back to that, man.
Victor and Jay. But this
Who's doing this, man? Who's keep asking about this?
This question comes to us courtesy of Vincent Caballero 6041. And his question is, Vic, please educate us on site injections and why today's bodybuilders have hideous lumps, like Lumpsford's lats or Hattie's pointy shoulders. Fake gear, bro? Question mark. Uncrowned 070, Mr. Vic 07 was perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Caballero.
He shit on Lumpsford and Hottie by saying they have ugly lats?
It's actually this is controversy. People
you agree with that?
I mean,
he's talking about synthol, obviously, right?
Well, there's usually
it's not necessarily synthol.
Yeah, not necessarily synthol, but a lot of times, to answer his question, it's a medley of things. It's basically fake juice or the different kind of oil they use. Is it cottonseed oil? Is it grapeseed oil? Low quality juice. Meaning non-pharmaceutical grade, and also too much site injection on one spot. A lot of guys just hate doing multiple shots. So instead of putting 3 cc's, spread out throughout, different injection sites, they would tend to put 3 cc's in one side, and that creates, a little cyst or a long time to break down. But also, people have to remember, that's why when I do have clients and they do have to do the injection sites, I would usually, have them not do it too close to contest time. Because when you start doing injection sites too close, remember your body fat is low. Your water intake, it's now, beginning to diminish. So when you start putting these sites injection and you're 2 weeks out, low body fat, they tend to be more noticeable.
Right.
So in order to fix this, one, do smaller amounts, meaning instead of putting 2 cc's, you want to put maybe 1 or do a half cc and do more shots, more sites. Do both lats. Instead of putting 3 cc's on both lats, do a cc and do the other one elsewhere. And also try to go a little bit deeper also.
This is synthol we're talking about, or regular steroids?
This is regular steroids. If you're putting synthol, you're asking for a lot more trouble, because eventually the synthol just becomes boils, a cyst, and it could break down into your bloodstream and create more health risks. So I would not recommend synthol at all for nothing whatsoever. You're gonna do juice anyways, might as well, I tell you, let's do smaller amounts. Let's do, again, you can do a 25 gauge syringe. Let's not do one of these freaking, horse syringes. And smaller amounts, and I would
less juice.
Yeah, less juice. Depending where it is, obviously, if it's the lats, let's go with 1 inch. And just do the site injection. But when you do the lats also, you got to remember there's a lot of, veins going on. There's a lot of, so try to have it, try to do the injection on the daylight where you can see a lot of the web, because you can see the web of veins in the lats. It's just, you don't want to hit that vein. You don't want to hit.
What happens if you hit the vein?
Well, it's going to create more bruising. It's going to create more bruising. It's also going to, also inflame, and you don't want to get that juice going into the bloodstream. I mean, in the muscle is fine, but once it hits the vein and it goes into the bloodstream, it's going to create a freaking burn, and it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. You don't want
deep tissue muscles help too after injection.
The deep tissue does help, again, but let's say you're a week out and you did the bad shot. Now, you're getting yourself low body fat, so it's going to take longer for your body to actually process that injection. And the massage will help a little, but I would always recommend, I would say 2 weeks out not to do it. If you're just doing this on your own, really you don't need site injections if you're not competing or anything like that. Site injections will just inflame the site a little bit. It's gonna make it look bigger, but it's really not that big.
That would make me want to go anywhere else.
To just sit back, listen to some music. Definitely recommend this clinic, yeah, definitely.
So the question was asked about Hadi and Derek, which are both Mr. Olympias. I mean, are we saying that they don't know what they're doing, or do you think it's from the previous years of you?
I mean, it's happened. It's happened to the best of us. It just you're getting there. You're following a protocol. You have 4 or 5, 6 cc's left in that last protocol. You don't want to deviate from it. This could be, it's going to be, a make or break deal to getting that first and, between first and last. You don't know, but you're so freaking into the game. You're so deeply in that you take those shots. And unfortunately, I've seen so many people take that last shot. And I admit I've done it too. And I always said, man, I should have just skipped that last one, man.
I have a question. For lat injection, is it better to inject it, usually they inject it in the lower lat or upper lat?
Middle.
Middle.
Yeah, middle. So if you one way to measure is just,
Okay, don't teach the guys. That's
Yeah, we don't condone none of this, by the way. This is just
answering
answering
not condoning it,
questions.
but there's one way. Basically, the middle from top and the middle from bottom. Just hit right in the middle, centered.
Vic, what does it mean fake gear?
Fake
What's
gear.
a fake gear?
Well, fake gear
Fake
is always
juice.
underdosed. Yeah. Underdosed will be considered, it's semi-fake, but it's still fake because it's underdosed. So usually you'll know by the price. You'll know by the price because, cheap juice is always underdosed juice. There's no discounts. There's so much inflation going on everything. Yeah. Why all of a sudden juice prices are going lower?
Right.
You're taking cheap shit. Everything's going up high. Know what you're buying. When you're buying the Remo Bowling, the Bayer ones, you're paying the $20, $25. You know what you're getting is real. When you go to the pharmacy, you're getting, obviously prescribed. The worst juice right now you can get in the U.S. is probably compound juice. Yeah. It's probably, that was probably the cheapest because it's compound. It's made in pharmacies down in compound pharmacies down in Florida, wherever there's a compound pharmacy. It's like, it's okay. It's all right, but if you get name brand from the pharmacy, prescribed by the doctor, you're getting, and you could tell the difference. When you take it, it's like
totally different.
Yeah, total difference. No boils, no lumps, no nothing. And when you get compound, it's like hit or miss. I believe there was a compound pharmacy that once had a bad batch, and one bad batch is all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yep.
All it takes, and then you're taking it, and you're wondering why you're getting fever, why you're getting these headaches.
Basically, some guy make it the juice in the kitchen. And then put in the bottle and then send it to market.
They're still happening. They're still happening.
Yeah,
The early
That's
days
terrible.
of Trend was made in bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
And
terrible,
It's still happening.
it's
Still happening. You can buy a trend powder.
So usually
in
you
China,
know,
in Alibaba.
Yeah.
In Alibaba, you can buy a literally trend powder.
Wow.
Bring it here, mix it with the oil, and sell it. It's very.
It's so crazy. Ed and I visited this guy in Sacramento. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to but in his house, he had like a nice house in Sacramento, and he had a whole lab set up.
Yeah.
In his kitchen, his living room. Remember that?
Sacramento, not the actual city mentioned. to protect anyone involved in illegal activities.
Okay, who's the winner?
So this week's winner, I hope that answers your question. And Vincent Caballero, 6041. You are this week's winner. You win your case of carnivore RTD or carnivore beef protein by Muscle Meds.
Yeah,
Submit your
and whatever
questions.
you do, just try to stay natural, man. You know, have a nurse friend or somebody, you know.
Speaking of natural, the well-known YouTuber and bodybuilder Cali Muscle has
Cali
gotten
Muscle.
fully natural. It's kind of interesting to see before and after.
I think we
But
should
if you can
say
see,
he become natural.
Hold on. How long was his last shot? How long ago?
Yeah, he become natural. I think a year.
A year?
I think
No.
I think
He's
maybe
still-
a year.
Technically,
He is still not natural.
technically, if he was to compete in a natural competition, he's still not considered
he would still
natural.
fail.
Has to be 5 years.
Well, it's
before you're
the reason
natural.
why
So
we
you're
meant-
not natural.
Yeah, the
Let's
reason why
talk
we
about what he said. Let's talk about what he actually said. Though.
Yeah, well, the reason why we're mentioning him, one is because of what he said, but two, also because of the drastic change. I mean, if you see him now, I mean, I think he's about 5'8" or 5'9", I'm not sure, but he completely disappeared.
He was.
I think he's about 160 or 155 pounds or something now. It's insane.
Well, I hope he's healthier. You know,
Yeah.
as long as he's healthier, that's
exactly.
not that
That's what
bad. You
matters.
know, it's not about being big. So
So first of all, he said that bodybuilding is demonic, and everybody who's into bodybuilding and juice are basically devils. But
Well-
before we get to that point, let's put context here.
okay.
So he was basically a bodybuilder, right? A YouTuber bodybuilder. He had a very bad health scare. He was in the
Khaled,
hospital.
you're still a bodybuilder, bro. You can't shake it, bro. Whether you think it's demonic, you still are.
He had a health scare. He had a heart attack. He recovered, and since then he was on a path of bringing health to the forefront, eating fruit, vegetables, fasting, and we're going to talk about what else he said. But he said bodybuilding is demonic because of the substances you have to put in your body. Let's talk about that, Vic.
I don't know what happened when he got a open heart surgery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heart attack. Open
He
heart attack.
actually ended up getting a heart attack.
All right.
He get heart attack and open
Right.
open heart surgery.
It was bad.
Heart
yeah.
surgery. I don't know what you saw during that process, that scared the shit out of you, bro. But regardless of what it is, you promoting, natural, good. You promoting not taking juice, good. Calling what we decide to do to ourselves demonic, it's like, dude, man, what's up with that, bro? It's like, I don't know what you saw, but, if we are demonic, then you are a fallen angel. You're, I don't know, you're a devil's reject or something. I don't know.
I put him next to the Liver King. These two personalities is very, very similar.
You think so?
I mean, come on. Liver King is using the steroids, hiding it. I mean, and then lie to people. And same thing, him using the steroids and lying to people that moment in time. I mean, he's still lying to people. I remember he posted a video about water.
We'll talk about that next.
I
yeah.
mean, he give the wrong information exactly like a Liver
Let's talk
King.
about it now. He said that he went to the store. So Kali Muscle often goes to stores and he looks at products and the nutritional facts, and he kind of exposes why is this like this, right? Sugar, whatever. And he picked up a bottle of water. I forgot the brand, and he said, "Look at this one. It has 5 milligrams of sodium. This brand is terrible for you. It gets you swollen, whatever."
Which is sodium is part of the water. We don't have a water.
Part of the water hasn't been a problem for a long time. Now, you can point to it if you had open heart surgery, high blood pressure, all that.
Yeah.
Of course, you could choose to have distilled water, healthier, whatever. But when we sweat, you're sweating, salt. You need electrolytes. You need electrolytes, and that's why the sodium is a big part of it. So to say, oh my God, you discovered something, it's like, not really, not so. It's like it's still selling. People are going to drink it. They're not going to stop. They have it. There's the way they purify the water. I know alkaline mineral water is a better choice. Maybe you should look into that, drink that. I'm sure he's doing it anyways. But to point out 5 grams?
5 milligrams.
5 milligrams of water is like, oh my God, stop the press. This is not something you discover that so bad. There's doctors right now drinking that same water that do open heart surgery for a living, and it's not bad. It's not bad only if you have a condition that you need to avoid it, then it's bad, you know, and I don't think I'm going to stop.
He has a lot of subscribers in YouTube, yeah? He's a YouTuber, basically.
And
Yeah.
and also on Instagram as well. I mean, he's
He's a
big
YouTuber.
personality.
He's,
for
he's
sure.
I mean, arguably, he's obviously part of the Rich Piana era, right?
Yeah,
Of-
definitely.
Yeah.
Of YouTubers that
would say
came
so,
out in
yeah.
the bodybuilding industry. So he's actually very well known. He's actually kind of well known because of the Strength Cartel too, and all those guys out there. So I think that he's that West Coast YouTuber that really changed a lot of the industry. But
That's fine, but to say demonic,
It's all about
So
wrong
obviously
information.
demonic-
I don't have a problem what he said. It's all about wrong information. When you release the wrong information in a huge platform like him, you know, people like him, like Dexter Jackson, like Jay Cutler, people not going to listen. I mean, they don't have a Dexter Jackson. They don't have that advanced like him channel in YouTube to release the information. But come on, man. I mean, water sodium is wrong. I mean, what he said about bodybuilder is wrong. His life was coming from bodybuilding.
you know what? It's an
Entire his
opinion.
life building with bodybuilding, and right now he's sitting down and talk
But-
behind the bodybuilders.
No, he's just scared straight, bro. You got an open heart surgery, you're laying there.
I mean, Arnold
He's scared
Schwarzenegger,
straight.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had the 3 times.
Arnold
heart.
just had another surgery, actually.
Arnold had surgery last week.
I mean, Arnold was scared straight to a point that he stopped eating meat and started promoting, you know, being a vegan.
Is he
you
still
know?
doing
so
that?
It happens.
Yeah, he's still vegan.
he's still vegan? Is he really?
Yeah, he's
Still
still
vegan.
vegan.
So it's
Wow.
you know what? I understand that part. It's cool, but to say demonic is like, I mean, I have family members that think wearing makeup is demonic, television is demonic, radio is demonic. You know, they're like crazy born again bootleg Christians. You know,
Demonic is what he said about demonic is obviously over the top, right? But
over
don't you,
the
don't you-
top,
don't you
way
think,
over the top.
Yeah.
But don't you think what Kali Muscle has been preaching, which is being natural, staying away from substances, it's actually a good thing for the followers?
It's good
or bad?
for him. It's good for the people that shouldn't be dabbling in it. It's good for the people that are moonlighting, wanting to be a bodybuilder, but yet they don't really want to do that. So it's good not to do it. But at the end of the day, you know what? Our body get to do whatever the hell we want. We want to go that route. We do it. That's it. We do it. It's you know, I mean, there's a lot of worse things people can do.
It's good until he's talking about himself, what he had the problem before, what's wrong before with him when he using what's what's the difference between when he using drugs and not. He has to be giving the people as an experience of his when you're using it, not talk about other people. You know, I mean, he started as himself.
So he says an opinion. You could have an opinion on anything else, but when you start calling it because you do this, you're this.
No, he
that's
general
like,
all bodybuilder evil.
Yeah, yeah.
Bodybuilder is evil. You know,
That's what
you
he
know,
said.
but meanwhile, who's buying all his stuff or whatever the hell he sells? It's usually mostly bodybuilders, you know, his followers, you know. So you're letting a lot of people down for doing the switcheroo. And again, if he's scared straight, that's, you know, that's understandable. So
yeah, I have a problem because he's put down other bodybuilders. He's not telling what's wrong with me. You know, he has a lot of problem. He's not talking about what's the problem as a mental problem. I suggest you go to doctor for the mental things. You know,
He's still a part of the fitness industry, though.
it doesn't matter. Every person needs, and sometimes in the life needs to go to the doctor for mental health.
No,
you
I
know,
understand, of course.
I mean, if you have a scar your arm, you put a tape on it. But if you have something wrong with your head, you not see it, you not take it, the scar in your head become more bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're talking like this. You understand what I'm saying?
talking trash.
Yeah, you're talking trash to other people. To other people, you know, they respect you.
Yeah.
He always in the Mr. Olympia Expo, Arnold Expo. He was always in there.
He was, yeah, for sure.
I know you're going to be hanging out with more demons in the future, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to pull you back in.
So what happens to him next? I mean, he's still going to obviously exist. And
No, he's fine. He's doing it fine. You know, maybe he's doing that to stir things up. You
Could
know,
be.
are anybody gonna listen to him? Maybe a couple of his followers. You know, but and like I said, the good stuff: stopping juice, going natural. You know, the food pointers he's doing. You know, I think he probably stopped eating meat too.
So do you think that anything about what he says is true about being evil. How can bodybuilding be evil, in your opinion?
I mean, the only evil is, the judging, bro.
I think the only evil is when one coach or one athlete tell a youngest athlete want to start to juice, not saying exactly what side effect
Yes.
you should get.
It's a lot of evil that goes on.
That's the evil thought. When you know what happened if you're going direct with head in your
Yes.
putting that
Being
wall.
misguided. Look, being misguided.
Exactly.
Being loaded by tons of juice, whether you're a teenager, under 21, just started working out, being loaded with juice.
Yeah.
When a coach and you're a woman gives you juice when
So
you don't really
so-
need it. There's a lot of evil
Yeah.
that goes
Yeah,
on.
so he's also saying that, he wants to be a new voice, essentially, right? For the industry and people and bring more awareness, which ends up happening a lot. Like, obviously you mentioned Arnold, CT Fletcher. There's other guys out there that have gone vegan.
Exactly. CT too.
So I guess the point
He's
is
vegan?
that,
I didn't know.
yeah, CT's actually went
Wow.
full vegan too, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
After heart conditions.
Yep.
So a lot of it has to do with living a healthier lifestyle, but I think that a lot of it also is making up for a lot of the abuse, right, Vic, from the previous years.
Man, they had their fun already. You can
Right.
switch, have your fun, choose, You want to go out with this kind of girl, the girl burns you, you'll be like, don't date that kind of girl, else you're evil. It's like, it's like everybody should make their choice. You know what? Keep spreading, talk about your opinion, talk about your experience. At the end of the day, let the person choose. But calling people something because they decided, because they want to go that way, and because they still love it, you know what? The best thing they can do is, where they're going to pursue it anyways, is just choose how to do it right. Don't OD on the supplements. Don't OD on overjuicing. Don't go crazy. Don't think more is going to make you better, Still, training harder, dieting harder is still the best way to go. And, it's still going to be evil, man. But I think bodybuilders are pretty much not really at the top of the list when it becomes evil.
Exactly.
It's like there's a lot of people running, our nation and running countries and doing a lot of evil things, and the people that are underground.
When the normal people don't know bodybuilder, top bodybuilder, they see the picture and video, say, "Oh my God, they are so." I can see the angriness. I can see this.
You're right.
But when you talk to them, all bodybuilder, I talk to them very nice, very very calm,
Right.
very sweet. It's exactly opposite the people is judging, which is you say that the judgment comes from the evil. When you judge the
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
you don't want to judge, but even though, some bodybuilders can be atrocious, though.
like Greg.
I like how he
Smelly, all synthed up and everything. You guys offend us, man.
I like Kali
Kali
Masla personally, actually. I think he's very entertaining. But I think his reaction is common from people that, like you said, survived something.
Yes.
And now,
It's
now they want to
general.
be super healthy.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
That's normal, understandable. That's why I made the point of.
They live
I
that
understand
that's what I'm saying. You
because
live-
it is, but now
Yeah.
to put everybody in that one category is like
You
really
live
cheap.
fast. That's how it is.
He general all bodybuilders. He put everyone in the one basket and then say all you guys.
What he's telling maybe his followers, like, hey, be careful of following that path. That's kind of, no?
He should be said open talk about be careful, Hey
Evil-
guys,
evil-
if you
I
take
mean-
a testosterone, you get this effect, this effect, this effect. As a matter of fact, when I use it, when I jump it from this amount to that amount, I feel those side effects. He has to be sit down. You are the best person to sit down to talk to the new generation about what happened to me when I take testosterone, nandrolone, I don't know, GH, trembolone, all those drugs you use it for a while and then you stop it, you get side effect. It's the best to sit down and talk about what I feel it and what side effect, which is right now in the paper.
Yeah,
In
like,
the
like how,
Google.
did, how do you get there? How do you get to that point of his
Exactly.
heart failing? Were you taking too much juice? Were you not doing cardio? were you just eating meat every day?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of factors. Something got you there. I think talk about that, educate people on that, and just, you know, that way you might have people deviate from, you know, pursuing an evil bodybuilding career.
I think he wants to say something good, but he doesn't know how to say it.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
So
I
that,
think so, man.
that brings us to another question.
I believe you.
I believe you. That brings us to another question. It's just like, you know, bodybuild health, and more importantly, what it is to have, you know, heartburn, right? You know, does the bodybuilding lifestyle really create issues with heartburn that you know of?
You have experience?
I mean, I didn't have it as much because one time I did hear information about someone taking Winstrol pills, and the person was always having heartburn. So that simple, one time I heard that, I'm like, well, I'm not messing with Winstrol pills. So that alone, you know, it was one of those things, and the person kept taking Winstrol pills. They kept getting heartburns to a point that they had to retire. So
Really?
yeah. So it's certain drugs do that to you. Certain conditions in your body do that to you. So, I mean, heartburn in bodybuilding, and also force feeding.
Yeah, force feeding.
Force feeding. I never promoted that. I never told anyone to ever blend your food.
Yeah,
You
overload.
know, or this crazy, like,
Blend
you don't
it up.
want to eat it, don't eat it, man. That's it.
You know, they hear like a huge bodybuilders. They say you have to eat 6-7 times a day, and then they force themselves to eat.
Not true. Not true. I mean, I did bodybuilding half my life, I think, eating 3-4 meals a day.
Quite successful.
Wow.
3-4 meals a day. Eventually, my body got hungry and asked for more food, and that's when I added the extra 5 meal, and then eventually I got into 6. You know, but the 6 was never really 6 because one of them was a protein shake. You know, so I mean, was I hungry? Did I pick on food throughout the day? Were they all complete full meals? No. You know, so I mean, the 6 meals, 7. I mean, I know there was a lot of articles on Flex, Muscle and Fitness, you know, muscular development.
They all preach to eat 6.
Yeah, we had, but most of it was, you know, solid food, and the supplements was just supplements.
Three of them basically is the snacks. It's very small. It's not the food.
Right.
Yeah, so all that food, I don't think your body, to begin with, wasn't even intended to eat all that food.
Never, of course not.
You know, it just came with bodybuilding. That's why
Maybe
now,
Kali means that demonic.
Yeah.
The
Too
gluttony,
much
right?
food is demonic. You'll be
Gluttony is a sin, right?
A
That's what
demonic,
it's all about.
obese person. But I mean, now I just eat basically. I'm back to 3-4 meals. You know, I mean, and is pizza considered a meal? It's a snack. So it's
yeah.
3 meals.
Pizza definitely make you hard.
That's a good response, and I think most people will get the understanding of you don't need to force feed yourself and get yourself in a situation.
Don't force feed. You don't want to do that, especially. That's why I always recommend people to pursue athletics. You know, athletics alone will get you to being a better bodybuilder.
Right.
You know, it's going to build a better physique, a better base. You know, if you're a kid in your teens, you're still in high school, do the sports. If you're not in high school anymore, in college, try to do a sport or play a sport on the side, just to make you physically able to endure what bodybuilding has to, you know, give down the road. But eventually, it's the best base, and you're gonna see, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel stronger, and then there's levels to it. You know, there's the first level of being a bodybuilder is what? Physique. You'll get to physique, then eventually classic, and bodybuilding is if you even dare to, you know, test those waters, because very few people, you know, have that calling to be a bodybuilder. It's not for everyone. You know, I know you can try it, you can love it. I would not say don't do it, but it's anybody can do anything. It's just do it the right way, build up to it, and there's so many healthy ways to do it, man.
Exactly.
You know.
Thank you guys for tuning in again. Vic, thank you for answering those questions. It's been a great week so far. Thank you guys. Submit your questions. Continue to like, subscribe, and follow, and submit those questions for Vic.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. And please, you want to see any of our prior episodes, look into iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast streaming. And until next time.
Hey, yo, listen up, man. Milk is for baby. Beef build muscle. You hear me? Yeah, I said it. Beef build muscle. California, baby. RTDs, baby. On the go. Let's get it. Milk is for babies. Beef it up with California RTDs. 40 grams of protein, 0 fat, 0 sugar, 0 lactose. Get yours today.